Well, thank you for coming. I know during the holidays it's very difficult to get out, and this subject can be difficult for some people. Today we have Teresa, the Director of Bereavement Services with the Hospice of Piedmont, to talk to us about anticipatory grief, and I struggle with that word, and how to adjust to the realities of loss or just changes in general.
But yes, just wanted to talk about anticipatory grief. I love this image. We're anticipating a storm, something's brewing. Generally, that's something that, of course, we can see, but we can also feel that the pressure of an impending storm or changes that are coming along. I'd like to begin with this quote by Rachel Naomi Remen, and she founded a cancer center and really worked with people who were both anticipating the end of their lives but also their caregivers. She says, the expectation that we can be immersed in suffering and loss daily and not be touched by it is as unrealistic as expecting to be able to walk through water without getting wet. This sort of denial is no small matter. The way we deal with loss shapes our capacity to be present to life more than anything else. The way we protect ourselves from loss may be the way in which we distance ourselves from life and help. We burn out not because we don't care, but because we don't grieve. We burn out because we've allowed our hearts to become so filled with loss that we have no room left to care. So today we'll be talking about ways to encounter anticipatory grief and also ways to take care of ourselves and ways to release the emotions that come along with anticipatory grief. So this is just an image of time, and I wondered if you could offer some thoughts about what it means to anticipate. What does anticipatory mean to you?
What is anticipating is waiting for something.
Mm-hmm.
Being eager or worrying about it happening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or both.
Yeah. I don't have another response. I think it's unique to everyone how they feel in terms of that word or expression or the experience of anticipating. Another way to think about David Kessler, he's a pioneer in grief support and grief education, grief awareness, and he talks about anticipatory grief as living grief. And we can experience this kind of living grief as losses along the way, little losses that we experience. Say if your loved one has been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, slowly you're losing parts of them or ways that you've encountered one another. Or that's true for any acute illness. Or any loss you're anticipating. Sometimes that's a gradual loss. And there's an invitation to grieve as that happens. Grieve as each loss comes about. Living with grief can also create confusion or disorientation. It's also a layered experience, like you were saying. It's both and. Sometimes you are looking in a way forward to the relief, maybe, or the release of that feeling, of the tension that also comes along with anticipatory grief. And living with grief, experiencing anticipatory grief, also comes along with many human thoughts and feelings. I love what Mr. Rogers said. He said that anything human is mentionable, and anything human and mentionable is manageable. And even the darker or or frustrations or any of those thoughts that we have while we're caregiving or while we're experiencing anticipatory grief. Those are human, they are mentionable, and therefore they are manageable. Anticipatory grief also can come along with this feeling, this idea of ambiguous loss. Ambiguous loss is generally referred to as a kind of loss that where maybe you're not getting to see the person. Maybe ambiguous loss can relate to not being able to see the body, not being able to reconnect with someone after they've left. In this age of phones, ambiguous loss can also relate to being ghosted by someone not responding back to you. That can definitely be a feeling of loss, of frustration and confusion, of bewilderment, all of that. Dr. Pauline Boss coined this term. She did a lot of studies, especially in situations where there were these massive and major events and family members couldn't find their loved ones, or with loved ones who have gone to jail, and there's kind of the ending of a relationship, but it's kind of not it's confusing, it's ambiguous. There's a lack of a clear resolution. So one thing that we really invite caregivers, but all of us really who are experiencing anticipatory grief, to do is to ask for help, which can be really hard to do. If you've been a caregiver for a long time, there's a sense of pride about doing that, being a caregiver. There's a sense that maybe you can do this by yourself, but for self-preservation, for self-care, it's really important to ask for help. And then it's really important to receive help, to be able to be open to help. Here's an image of someone offering help, but the person they're offering it to maybe is shut down, maybe isn't open at that moment to receive help. But those are really important experiences to be able to ask for and receive help. When we are grieving, it's really important to have healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries with people who are supporting us, but also people who might be aware of whatever we are grieving, or whatever we are anticipating grieving. So it's important to be mindful of people who bring in negativity, because this can be draining. Your already precious kind of energy that you're devoting to potentially someone else or yourself. It's important to be aware of expectations, your own, but also others' expectations of you, especially as we think about the holidays. What are the expectations of you, especially if you're in a vulnerable state, if you are grieving yourself. Protecting your heart some with others who might be interested in offering support or aware of your circumstances. And then to be aware of who gets to know your experience. It's important to know who you can talk to, who understands you and who you trust, and who maybe isn't able to hear or understand the experience of grief, which is true for many. Find your people. There are going to be those in your life who are task-oriented, and they would like something to do, and so please give them the opportunity to do something for you. That will help them, and it will help you. It will help them feel like they can support you, and it will help you. There will be those who can listen, and then it's important to share what you're going through. There will be those who cannot speak grief. There will be those who just, as I said, aren't able to encounter the feelings, be able to acknowledge or address, or will just want to be positive all the time. And that's a different kind of energy drain. if you're needing to share and they're wanting to spin it all the time too positive. So that's just something to be aware of. There will be those who cannot abide with you. There will be those who show up at the beginning and they may not be able to withstand the long run of grief. And so this is just really important to be thinking about. I would just invite you to turn to each other for a moment and share who your people are and kind of what their role has been in your life for just a couple minutes. One thing as we move kind of into what do we do with our anticipatory grief or our grief in general? And one thing I would offer is to let go of perfection. That, as we are sitting with our grief, we might have an expectation that, we need to put ourselves out there, or we need to push beyond our comfort zone. And I would just invite you to consider working with what you have, leaving perfection behind. Good enough is okay, especially in these times when we notice all around us people getting together and there might be a sense of loneliness. Good enough is okay, and just offer that. And then self-compassion. I'm not sure if that is a practice that is part of your meditation, but self-compassion is a really important practice. It can be foreign to many of us, but I would just invite us to practice it right now, if you would do that with me. So what that looks like is, what I would like you to do is place your hand on your heart.
What is it then we're going to do?
Self-compassion, a moment of self-compassion. So place your hand on your heart and feel the warmth of your hand on your heart. And just even 10 seconds of this alone calms the nervous system. And I would like to invite you to say to yourself something gentle and kind. Maybe it's, thank you for showing up today. I accept myself. Maybe it's, I'm proud of myself. Maybe it's, I love myself. And in times where there's a grief wave or a feeling of suffering, it's good to also tell yourself, this is a moment of suffering and it will pass. And I love and accept myself. This practice is helpful to be soothing and to really address the grief that you're carrying. So maybe you'll practice that on your own.
Affirmations.
Yes, affirmations.
Definitely part of my meditation.
Yes, really important. Other ways of self-care. There are so many, just as love is unique, grief is unique. Grief is as unique as love. And so is self-care. We are different people, we like to do all different kinds of things. So some people love to journal. That doesn't work for everybody, but for some that's a great way of taking care of themselves. I do love to journal, but instead of writing, I do collage in a journal. And I love that. It's soothing to be able to look at magazines and pick out images and create something. So art. Some people care for themselves by walking or exercising or stretching. Meditation is a practice of self-care. Massage. And then, many Buddhist practitioners that I've encountered always say better out than in. Nurses say that too, in terms of the physical body, better out than in. And emotions are also better out than in. Of course, regulated emotions are easier to manage out than in, but emotions need motion. When they get stuck, they create all kinds of issues.
I call, when I deep in meditation, it's very emotional at times. It's a form of toxic cleaning.
Yeah. Getting the emotions out.
Getting the negative emotions out.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
Meditation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And then the last thing I would just offer is to connect with other caregivers, to connect with others who are walking this journey, whether it is as a caregiver. I've focused more on caregivers because this is that series through Java, but I think it's important to connect with others in general who are walking a similar path, who are grieving. We grieve better and we heal better in community. Being alone is not ideal, and it reinforces loneliness and a sense that that we're not thriving. So.
But the minute, what I want to get back to is, I grieve the losses, and then I sort of, with meditation, have accepted. And now, the funny thing is, with meditation, I am grateful for what I have, and not what I don't have.
Mm-hmm. So gratitude
is the greatest emotion.
It is. I should have put that in here. Gratitude is the antidote to grief.
Yes.
It really is.
Because now, just waking up in the morning, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to live independently, to be able to drive.
Yes. Beautiful. Well, that's a great way to end. Is in the spirit of gratitude as an antidote to our grief. This is what we still can do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.